Sutras of our Lord Sri Aurobindo. Our Lord Sri Aurobindo says, in a quietude of the mind, open to the presence of the divine in your heart and everywhere, in a still mind and heart, the divine is seen like the sun in still water. With always our love and blessings, says our Lord Sri Aurobindo. Sri Aurobindo's Savitri, Book 3, the Book of the Divine Mother, Canto 2, The Adoration of the Divine Mother, page 312, news paragraph. Even while he stood on being's naked edge, and all the passion and seeking of his soul face their extinction in some featureless vast, the presence he yearned for suddenly drew close. Across the silence of the ultimate calm, out of a marvelous transcendence score, a body of wonder and transculency, as if a sweet mystic summary of herself, escaping into the original bliss, had come enlarged out of eternity. Someone came, infinite and absolute, a being of wisdom, power, and delight, even as a mother draws her child to her arms, took to her breast nature and world and soul, abolishing the signless emptiness, breaking the vacancy and voiceless hush, piercing the limitless unknowable into the liberty of the motionless depths. A beautiful and felicitous lustre stole. The power, the light, the bliss, no word can speak, imaged itself in a surprising beam, and built a golden passage to his heart, touching through him all longing sentient things. A moment's sweetness of the all-beautiful cancelled the vanity of the cosmic realm. Words of our Divine Mother, taken from the collective works of our Divine Mother book on education, topic Sutras, taken from page 347. Our Divine Mother says, first, have no ambition, above all, never lay claim to anything, but be at each moment the utmost that you can be. Second, as for your place in the universal manifestation, the Supreme alone will show it to you. Third, the Supreme Lord has ineluctably decreed the place you occupy in the world concert, but whatever that place may be, you have the same equal right as everyone else to scale the supreme heights as far as the supramental realization. Fourth, what you are in the truth of your being is ineluctably decreed, and nothing and no one can prevent you from being it, but the path you will take to attain it is left to your own free choice. Fifth Sutra. On the path of ascending evolution, each one is free to choose the direction he will take. The swift and steep ascent towards the summits of truth, the supreme realization, or turning his back to the peaks, the easy descent towards the interminable meanderings of endless rebirths. Sixth, in the course of the ages and even in the course of your present life, you can make your choice once and for all, irrevocably, and then you will have to confirm it at each new occasion, or else, if you have not taken the final decision at the outset, at each moment you will have to make a new choice between falsehood and truth. Seventh Sutra. But even supposing that you have not taken the irrevocable decision at the outset, if you have the good fortune to be alive at one of those extraordinary moments in universal history when the grace is present incarnate on earth, it will give you once again at certain exceptional moments the possibility of making a final choice that will lead you straight to the goal. Question, sweet mother, we have a minute of concentration before and after every group every day. What should we try to do during this concentration? For this, our Divine Mother says, before making an offering to the Divine of what you're going to do, so that it may be done in a spirit of consecration. Afterwards, ask the Divine to increase the will for progress in us, so that we may become instruments that are more and more capable of serving the Divine. You may also, before starting, offer yourself to the Divine in silence, and at the end, give thanks to the Divine in silence. I mean, a moment of the heart without any words in the head. Our Divine Mother says, in human life, the cause of all difficulties, all discords, all moral sufferings is the presence in every one of the ego with its desires, its likes and dislikes. Even in a disinterested work which consists in helping others, until one has learned to overcome the ego and its demands, until one can force it to keep calm and quiet in one corner, the ego reacts to everything that displeases it, starts an inner storm that rises to the surface and spoils all the work. This work of overcoming the ego is long, slow, and difficult. It demands a constant alertness and sustained effort. This effort is easier for some, more difficult for others. Our Divine Mother says, we are here in the ashram to do this work together with the help of Sri Aurobindo's knowledge and force in an attempt to realize a community that is more harmonious, more united, and consequently much more effective in life. As long as I was physically present among you all, my presence was helping you to achieve this mastery over the ego, and so it was not necessary for me to speak to you about it individually very often. But now this effort must come or become the basis of each individual's existence, more especially for those of you who have a responsible position and have to take care of others. The leaders always set the example. The leaders must always practice the virtues they demand from those who are in their care. They must be understanding, patient, enduring, full of sympathy, warm and friendly goodwill, not out of egoism to win friends for themselves, but out of generosity to be able to understand and help others. A Divine Mother says to forget oneself, one's own likings and preferences is indispensable in order to be a true leader. That is what I'm asking of you now, so that you can face your responsibilities as you should. And then you will find that where you used to feel the disorder and disunity, they have vanished, and harmony and peace and joy have taken their place. Our Divine Mother says, that I love you and that I'm always with you to sustain you, to help you, and to show you the way, with always our blessings, which is with you at every time. Question, sweet mother, what do you mean by certain attitude of consciousness? For this, our Divine Mother says, the attitude of consciousness which is required is an inner certitude that, in comparison with all that is to be known, one knows nothing, and that at every moment one must be ready to learn in order to be able to teach. This is the first indispensable point. There is a second point. It is that outer life, as we know, it is a more or less illusory appearance, and that we must constantly keep a living aspiration for the truth, says our Divine Mother. Now, the next aspect is the words given by our Divine Mother, taken from the compilations of the collective works of our Lord and our Divine Mother, book Emergence of the Psychic, topic Contact with the Psychic. Question, sweet mother, you wrote to me that it is not easy to come in contact with a psychic being. Why do you consider it difficult? How should I begin? For this, our Divine Mother says, I said not easy because the contact is not spontaneous, it is voluntary. The psychic being always has an influence on the thoughts and actions, but one is rarely conscious of it. To become conscious of the psychic being, one must only want to do so, make one's mind as silent as possible, and enter into the heart of one's being beyond sensations and thoughts. One must form the habit of silent concentration and descent into the depths of one's being. The discovery of the psychic being is a very definite and concrete fact, as all who have had the experience know. Once the psychic being has entered into contact, once the being has entered into contact with the psychic, why does the psychic again hide itself? Is the next question. For this, our Divine Mother says, it is not the psychic that hides itself, it is the being which returns to its ordinary consciousness. It is difficult for it to remain at its highest. One slides down, falls back. Only the second time the discovery is easier, and each time the road is easier until one no longer falls back. Question, sweet mother, once the psychic has come to the front, can it withdraw again? For this, our Divine Mother says, yes, generally, one has a series of experience of identification, very intense at first, which later gradually diminish. Then one day you find that they have disappeared. Still, you must not be disturbed, for it is quite a common phenomenon. But next time, the second time, the contact is more easily obtained, then comes a moment, which is not far off, when, as soon as one concentrates and aspires, one gets a contact. One may not have the power of keeping it all the time, but can get it at will. Then from that moment, things becomes very easy. One feels a difficulty or there is a problem to be solved when one wants to make progress, or there is just a depression to conquer, or an obstacle to be overcome, or simply for the joy of identification. For it is an experience that gives a more concrete joy. At the moment of identification, one truly feels a very great joy. Then, at any moment, whatever, one may pause, concentrate for a while, and aspire, and quite naturally the contact is established, and all problems which are to be solved are solved. Simply to concentrate, to sit down and concentrate, to aspire in this way, and the contact is made, so to say, instantly. Our Divine Mother says, there comes a time, as I said, when this does not leave you. That is, it is in the depths of the consciousness, supports all that you do, and you never lose the contact. Then many things disappear. For instance, depression is one of these things, discontentment, revolt, fatigue, or depression, all these difficulties. And if one makes it a habit to step back, as we say, in one's consciousness, and see on the screen of one's psychic consciousness, see all the circumstances, all the events, all the ideas, and all the knowledge, everything at that moment, one sees that and has an altogether sure guide for everything that one may do. But for this, perforce, takes a very long time to come, says our Divine Mother.